Everybody, this is Dr. Ciro, or Dr. I. I just want to let you know that the next portion, this next video is going to be my opinion. This does not constitute as medical advice. You should follow up with your own medical provider. This is just my thoughts after reading that Pfizer paper. Please subscribe or follow me if you'd like to get more information. Hi everybody, Dr. Ciro, or Dr. I here. I just wanted to call to discuss some of these new vaccine measures that are coming out, specifically the Pfizer vaccine. I just got done reading their study, and let it be known, I'm no expert in this field of immunology, but I have read a few white paper studies in my day, and their study just got released. Their white paper just got released last week in the United States, as the FDA has approved the medication. So I'm making this video to talk to just the general population, and more importantly colleagues and other minorities who may feel like they want to avoid taking this vaccine. So yes, that's true. I am in favor of this vaccine. I am going to encourage all my family, friends, and my patients and staff to get this vaccine as soon as possible, to actually have an end goal for this COVID-19 pandemic that has been affecting us all, and unfortunately affecting the minority groups more frequently, and those healthcare workers. So I'm giving the end away. I endorse this vaccine. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the actual some interesting notes and some criteria that I saw with this study, in case you don't want to read the study. But I am posting a link for the study on the bottom of this video, so please feel free to add anything that you want to, some suggestions for how to better relay this information in the future as well too. Well, basically what I'm looking at is the Pfizer study, and it basically suggests 2 doses of vaccines every 21 days. Sometimes as frequently as 19, or as quickly as 19 days, and as long as 23 days after the initial vaccine. The Moderna medication or vaccine is basically similar in style, but there's small differences, including that the doses take place 28 days apart, and there's differences in how the vaccine has to be kept. I'm using a word called vaccine, and some of you guys may or may not know what that means, but a vaccine is basically something that helps the body to stimulate its natural immunologic responses. Basically, it tells the body's defense system, hey, do something, there's something going on. So in this case, it's an mRNA, and without going into the heavy details of what mRNA is, just note that human cells have DNA and different. So mRNA is basically messenger RNA. It complements the DNA. DNAs are the building blocks for all human cells that help to be developed, and everything, all the human data and information that needs to be made. So basically the mRNA gets replicated, or our bodies the vaccine gets injected into our system, and our body's immune system starts to recognize the mRNA and makes proteins that match, almost like a Lego, that basically sits the protein inside the mRNA. So if and when our bodies do get exposed to the actual coronavirus, they have immune systems to basically say, hey, we recognize this virus and we're going to fight it off. Unlike those who are getting exposed right now, the body has no recognition, has no built-in defense system, and so it's basically, if the body or the host is healthy, they may be able to mount a good, significant response to keep them alive. If not, unfortunately, we know what happens if the virus runs its course in the worst way possible. So basically, the vaccine helps to stimulate or initiate your body's own immune system to better fight off this virus as it goes on. Going from the study, I've seen that the participants were as young as 12 years old, so I would presume that this vaccine is approved for those who are 12 years and older. Each jurisdiction, CDCs, and European Union government agencies are going to have their own criteria and approval, but at least from this study, this is what I'm seeing. The study participants are varied. They did bring in at least 6,000 participants, and a lot of the reactions or side effects that they had locally was pain at the injection site, redness and swelling. More of the systemic or the entire body reactions include fever, fatigue, headaches, chills, vomiting, diarrhea, new or worsening muscle pain or joint pain. And this isn't too abnormal for a lot of viruses. A lot of vaccines that you get. Those who've had flu vaccines may notice that they've had very similar types of reactions as well too. Some of the criteria where they included or excluded people, at least in. So that's what we do know, or at least I was able to get from the paper. Some things that I don't know from this paper is the long-term effects of it. Some of the cutoffs criteria for this study include 24 months. And yes, if it's 24 months, we haven't reached 24 months since the study has started. So there's still a lot of end results that we don't know yet. And unfortunately, I know with the common population, we don't want to hear what we don't know. We want to know what we do know. But unfortunately, we can't force or make up the future or results. You don't want that. You want scientific evidence to basically lead you to what you're going to do and how you're going to make your choices. The same way you trust science to deliver this video, or for you to type in something on Google or Instagram or whatever technology you're using, is the same science that allows you to sit in the comfortable chair or have Wi-Fi or have internet or have food. So I really am putting this video out to stress to anyone who's listening to my voice: do the right thing. Take the medication. Get the vaccine. Help protect others, especially if you're a minority or you're a frontline worker or you are a highly at-risk population. The study is showing, or the paper is showing, that the vaccine is slightly less effective on older populations, 65 and older. But when I say slightly less effective, we're talking about a few percentage points. So not to the point where I would tell my patients that they are justified to avoid the vaccine if they are offered it. If you're my patient, if you're my family, if you're my friends, if you're my loved ones, if you are under the sound of my voice and you have access to the vaccine, please take the vaccine. This will help the pandemic end sooner rather than later. I can't tell you what the long-term ill effects, if there are any, because I can't predict the future. But at the same time, I will predict that if the more people who get this vaccine, the sooner we'll return to normalcy in this country, and hopefully we'll start to return